Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
I've been up since 4. That's 2 hours, 2.5 hours ago. I had lunch already and a smoke break.
Took his 15-minute break.
Let me just tell you right now, this show doesn't wake up slowly most days. We come in hot. Some people sandbag the 6 o'clock hour. You know, they kind of find their footing. Chuck walks in with a cup of coffee in his hand at 5:51, and he walks up to me and he goes, "What do you want to talk about?"
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this much.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night, love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
It is going to be a hot Monday. Bo said coming in hot a minute ago. It's coming in hot right now. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, we just went to like the dog days of summer. We go from, it was fairly comfortable there for a little while.
Yeah,
and now over the weekend, it's like 90 degrees. Too hot.
And now we're all burning.
I know. Now we long for the cool spring days. Glad you're here. It's Monday. And I don't know about you guys. I'm the only guy alive who can get up at like 4 o'clock and still be scrambling around to get here like right at the end before we go on the air. I just have that knack.
What was going on, Chuck?
Well, it was one of those mornings. All these things went wrong in the house, and it just before I knew it, I couldn't find my keys.
I was gonna say you couldn't find your phone.
It was I found my phone, but it was the keys this morning. Okay. And normally I just leave them in the car. I pull into the garage, leave the keys in the car, and brought them inside. Bad move on my part because I don't have a spot. My spotlight is like in the car itself. I don't have a spot in the house, and that's what.
Got to have a spot.
I know. That's what did me in this morning. But at any rate, hope everybody had a great weekend. Glad we're back in the saddle today. Bo's still out. He'll be back around tomorrow. It is we're having this discussion right before we came on the air. It is National Detroit Style Pizza today. Now, I looked at the notes, and, of course, my first thought was, what's Detroit-style pizza? So I turned to Edward, and Edward proceeds to tell me what he thinks. And he goes, I'm pretty sure that's right, but, of course, we better check with Bart when he comes in. And so it sounds like Chicago-style pizza, like deep dish.
No, it's not. It's not. So
okay, I'm sorry. I was just reading this right here. It says deep dish.
Well, it's a thicker crust. It is a deep dish, but it's rectangular.
I understand.
And it's cut into squares.
All right.
Right. Instead of slices, it's squares.
And the AI thing says it has this unique upside down toppings thing. How does that work?
That's not it. That's AI is wrong.
So you're saying AI is wrong?
AI is wrong.
Okay.
That's Chicago style pizza where the sauce is on top.
Okay.
Detroit style pizza is built like any other pizza, except it's
just Little Caesars. If you go get like a deep dish pizza at Little Caesars,
wasn't it founded in Detroit?
Yes.
Wasn't Little Caesars founded in Detroit? Oh, all right.
They had the Little Caesars bowl for a while up there.
Yes. It all begins to make sense now.
Can't trust AI, man. Can't trust AI.
I had no earthly idea. It was news to me. I saw it in your notes, and I thought I don't know anything about that. And but thankfully, you guys are here to clear it up for me. Viva Loy won the Golden Spikes Award. Edward came up with this creative little montage, and let's play it now.
I have the pleasure of announcing the 47th edition of the Golden Spikes Award. It's Viva Loy.
2-2 on Aloy, swing and a drive, right field, carrying, there it goes. Get out of here. There's a line drive left field deep. Back it goes to the wall, into the bullpen, out of here. Aloy with a 3-run homer.
Just truly blessed to be able to have this award and just to be able to play at Arkansas and for the people back at home too.
To watch him play shortstop the way that he does, I don't know that there's a better defensive shortstop in baseball.
I don't know, as a dad or a parent, can't find the word, but well deserved.
Peterson again from the daylight, pitches, and it's hammered by Aloy in the air to left field. He got it all way out of here. The Heba Aloy just hit it out of the ballpark. He cleared the berm in left field.
This program meant a lot to me. Took a
chance, and they just felt like family when I stepped on campus. So it's truly a blessing. You know, my teammates, love them to death, and coaches as well.
What's your last message to Arkansas baseball?
I love you, Arkansas.
That's pretty good. 3 in 10 years now for the Razorback baseball program. Wow. 3 Golden Spikes Award winners in 10 years. Benintendi was the first one. It's hard to believe it's been 10 years since Benintendi won the Golden Spikes Award. And then, of course, Cops, and now Aloy. Now, I don't know. They all, you can make a case for any of them. I don't know that there's ever been a more valuable player than what Cops was that season for the Razorbacks. But Aloy, to me, of the 3 Golden Spikes Award winners, is the best athlete. Now, Benintendi, he's going to end up being a 10-year guy in the big leagues. I see where the White Sox may be about to move him. But he's going to be a 10-year guy. Aloy plays a position where, you don't know. I mean, 10-year shortstops or third baseman or wherever they end up playing him. I don't know. Outfielders sometimes can have a little bit longer career in terms of, shortstops are involved in everything. But at any rate, I like Aloy as a player. I know people are still upset about the loss in Omaha, but I just think this guy's going to be in the big leagues. I think it's going to happen pretty quickly. And I'll be surprised. I've been surprised before, but I'll be surprised if he doesn't turn into a guy that plays at least 5 years in the big leagues and maybe more.
You're seeing, Chuck, you're seeing more and more these top-level players from the SEC. They get drafted, and within a year they're in the big leagues because of the development, the player development in this league, the level of competition in this league. These guys, I look at Jack Caglianone, and he's in the big leagues already. He had just finished his season
and he's
Florida.
doing okay.
Yeah, and he just finished his season at Florida a year ago. Paul Skeen, same way. I mean, these are top-level talents that are in the SEC that are better players than a lot of what's in minor league baseball right now already. And so, you look at somebody like Vahiva, man, he's awfully good, and it wouldn't shock me at all to see him have a quick rise to the majors, depending on which club drafts him and what their needs are and where they have holes to fill in the lineup.
Yeah, I'm certainly not a baseball scout, and I'm not the guy to project when a guy's going to be to the big leagues or what his strengths are or what he needs to work on. But people have talked for a long time about how the SEC was at the same level as AA ball, for example. I think it is. My thought, honestly, has always been, well, I don't know that I'd go that far. Yeah, just to be honest, I don't know that I'd go that far. But in terms of the velocity with which pitchers throw now, there's not much difference in terms of velocity between what's going on in college baseball and really what's going on in the big leagues.
No.
Now, where it's going,
at least that elite level,
right?
Yeah.
The pinpoint control, that's a little bit different deal, but there's college guys that have pretty good control too. You see bat speed, you see things at the collegiate level that are on par with what you see at the major league level even now. To me, the one area where there remains a big difference, and this is, in my opinion, going to determine how quickly he gets to the big leagues, the difference is in the glove work. You don't see, you go to a AA game, you'll see some errors here and there, but you also see some spectacular plays. Particularly by the middle infielders, the guys fielding the ground balls. You see spectacular plays. I will tell you what I saw. To me, I saw 3 or 4 balls thrown at first base at the College World Series that should have been picked up. In the big leagues, they'd have been automatic pickups. In AA, they'd have been automatic pickups. There's still a real defense or a difference in terms of the defense, the glove work. at the collegiate level and the AA level. But, in terms of Eloy's bat speed, in terms of, the baseball instincts, all the things he's got going for him, the velocity that he's faced, he's turned a lot of good pitchers around. He's not that far away.
No, I don't think so. I think he will have a rapid rise through whatever organization drafts him, and then how quickly he gets to the big leagues depends on the makeup of that particular big league roster and where they have a need, and positional flexibility comes into play a lot when it comes to these high end prospects and getting them onto a big league roster. But you mentioned it a little bit ago, Chuck. He's such a good athlete that, you could probably play him just about anywhere, and he would adapt. And if you're really trying to get his bat in the lineup.
I said Friday I wasn't going to watch the College World Series anymore now that Arkansas was out, and I did. I came in late Saturday night. I don't mean like late in the evening. I mean late to the game. And missed the early part of it. LSU, of course, won. I was front and center yesterday at 1:30. And, 5 minutes into the game, the Coastal Carolina coach had been thrown out. And Edward, play this. And for those who missed it, I know a lot of people watched it. If you didn't watch it, you probably saw it before the day was over. This is what it sounded like.
Oh, my goodness. He just threw Kevin Schnall out of the game. In the bottom of the first inning, the home plate umpire throws Kevin Schnall out of this game, and down goes an umpire who had come in to get in the middle of things. Schnall remarkably gets thrown out of the game. A College World Series game 2 in the bottom of the first.
Did that umpire that came in and tripped and fell down, did he not look like a dork? That was a bad moment.
So bad.
And
I was laughing.
It was that was one of the worst exhibitions of umpiring I've ever seen in my life.
Man,
I've followed baseball a long time, and now first off, this Angel Campos, I think he's a pretty good balls and strikes up. I didn't have a real issue with the way he called the game after the ejection, but it's the national championship finals. You got to let the guy bark for a minute over there. All this happened in a matter of like 5, 6, 7 seconds. It wasn't like he was chirping over there and, the umpire said, I gave him a warning and all this stuff. But it all happened so quickly. Give him a warning. Let him say his piece and then say, hey, if you say anything else, I'm going to throw you out. I don't want to throw you out of this ball game. But if you don't shut up, I'm going to throw you out of the game. But it was like he couldn't wait to throw him out. This is the one issue that I have. And look, officiating's a really, really tough deal. It's a tough job. Umpiring, tough job. I'm not sure there's anything harder in terms of officiating sports than calling balls and strikes. It is a very, very difficult task. Calling basketball games, very, very difficult job. Football, very, very difficult job. Here's my issue. And I see it more in baseball and basketball than I do in football. Don't go looking to make the call. He was looking to enforce the rules. He was looking for an opportunity to take control of this game. It's the first inning. You don't throw a guy out in that situation. You just don't do it unless he, throws the bucket of baseballs out on the field. You don't throw him out in that spot. Did he issue a warning? Yes. Did he come out of the dugout after the warning was issued? Yes. Did it all happen in 5 seconds? Yes. It was ridiculous how quickly it occurred. This was the Coastal Carolina coach post-game.
There's 25,000 people there, and I vaguely hear a warning issued. as the head coach, I was an assistant for 24 years, and as an assistant, you're almost treated like a second-level citizen, and you can't say a word. Now, as a head coach, I think it is your right to get an explanation of why we got warned. And I'm 48 years old. I shouldn't get shooed by another grown man, right? So when I come out to ask what the warning is, a grown man shooed me. So at that point, I can now hear him say, it was a warning issued for arguing balls and strikes. And at that point, I said, because you missed 3. At that point, ejected. Yeah. If that warrants an ejection, I'm the first one to stand here like a man and apologize. 2 words that define our program are own it. And what does that mean is you have to own everything that you do without blame, without defending yourself, without excuses. If you guys watched the video, there was a guy that came in extremely aggressively, tripped over Campos's foot, embarrassed in front of 25,000, immediately goes 2-game suspension and said, bumping the umpire. Immediately does that. There was no bump. He was embarrassed. I shouldn't be held accountable for a grown man's athleticism.
That's exactly what happened.
Because now it's excessive. And the reason why it's excessive, because I was trying to say, I didn't bump him. It is what it is. But if that warranted an ejection, man, there'd be a lot of ejections.
I mean,
as an umpire, I feel like it's your job to manage the game. The national championship game with some poise, some calmness, and a little bit of tolerance.
I mean, that was just ridiculous what he did there. And that guy did look like a dork when he fell. And he jumped up and he immediately held up the 2. And that was just, I was just out of embarrassment. But at any rate, LSU's the national champion and should have been the Razorbacks. 877-377-6963 is the number that'll get you into the program. Follow us on social media, 618. This is the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
It's the Chuck and Bo Show. We're just kind of wading through it, figuring it out with you this morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Hey, you can beat inflation and upgrade your ride at Chevy of Fayetteville. Right now, drive home a brand new Chevy Silverado, Blazer, Equinox EV, or the Tough 2500 with rates as low as 1.9% APR. Plus, take advantage of huge discounts and get top dollar for your trade-in. Go see Chris, Mark, and Denver at Chevy of Fayetteville, where the deals are big and the road ahead is even better. Chevy of Fayetteville. Let's drive. Why deal with the stress of commercial travel when you can fly on your schedule with Jet Aircraft? No TSA lines, no baggage claim, no waiting around. Just you and your crew flying in comfort and style. Whether it's a weekend getaway, a golf trip, or planning your football travel for the fall, Jet makes it easy. Seats up to 9 with a full bar, custom catering, and plenty of space. Visit Jet NWA for pricing and more. That's Jet with 2 T's. It's going to be a tough slog from now till the end of time.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I need you to continue to carry the show. But
well, I mean, it was fun. We missed you.
Oh, I heard you.
We missed you.
Every time I hear you without me, I think, why am I there?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bo be back tomorrow. Got a little short in my microphone over here. Maybe I've handled this thing too much. At any rate, Bo will be back tomorrow, and it'll be guns blazing as we move into the summer. It's kind of strange now. I mean, without a ball game to look forward to. Last week at this time, everything was hot and heavy, and we didn't imagine it was going to end. And, of course, it did, as it always does. And now, as far as there may be is there some track and field still going on? I don't know if there is or not.
No, it's
everything's
it's
over with. Everything's done.
Yep.
Everything's
it's
finished.
in the books.
So it's we're
24-25
we're
season.
done until football season begins, or soccer whoever
I think,
starts first when we get to August. I want to talk as we move through the show today, maybe some of the great moments, best moment of the of all the Razorback seasons. Not to be a prisoner of the moment, but I'm going to tell you, it's going to be hard to top what Gage Wood did at the College World Series in terms of throwing that no-hitter. Now, football, there was that win over Tennessee. They won their bowl game. The win over Tennessee, I think, was probably the best moment of the season. Basketball obviously got hot, went to the Sweet 16. Those wins that got them there were great moments. But I'm telling you, you strike out 19 batters and throw a no-hitter at the College World Series, it's just hard to top that.
Awfully good.
It's just hard to top that. I should mention that Jalen Williams and Isaiah Joe are NBA champions, the Oklahoma City Thunder.
How about that?
They wrapped it up last night in OKC. I thought you had the soundbite there. I'm sorry. Okay. They did wrap it up last night, though, in Oklahoma City, and the Thunder win the NBA title. And they were impressive. When Halliburton went down with an injury, though, you could tell basically it was over.
Man, how brutal was that?
There are three guys that have had Achilles injuries in the playoffs: Lillard, Tatum, and now Halliburton.
And I think there have been three guys on the Pacers this season alone who have had them.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That have had just basic Achilles injuries?
Like
torn?
I mean, you think about just all the things that Halliburton did this postseason, like all the heroics, all the big moments, the game winners, all the big performances, and for it to end like that, that's just awful.
Well, and speaking of awful, did you see Tommy Fleetwood blow it at the Travelers yesterday?
Gosh.
I mean, I'm no Tommy Fleetwood fan. He's a Live defector.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he went to Live.
No, he didn't.
I thought he did.
No.
Look it up.
He's been on the PGA Tour this whole time.
I thought he went to Live.
No, absolutely
Look
not.
it up.
No.
Look it up.
No.
Hang on. Did Tommy Fleetwood defect to Live Golf? Where is it? Right here. Okay, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. At any rate, Tommy Fleetwood blew it.
See, you don't need to hate the guy. You don't need to hate the guy.
At any rate, all right, never mind. I've misguided hate. At any rate, he had a one-shot lead going to the last.
Middle of the fairway.
Couldn't
be
perfect.
in a better spot.
I mean, he striped it, and he's right down the middle. And Keegan Bradley had a good drive, too, a little bit further. But, I mean, Fleetwood's in great shape. He can't decide what
well, he's got a 9-iron in his hands, which was the right club, as it turns out.
He couldn't decide which club to use.
Yeah.
And bottom line was he picked the wrong one, and he comes up short. And Keegan Bradley, meanwhile, picks the right club and, hits it within, 3 or 4 feet.
Yeah.
5 feet, I think, to be perfectly honest. And so Fleetwood hits an okay chip, decent.
Yeah.
But he's still got 6 feet.
Yeah, he's outside of
He's right outside Keegan Bradley. But, I mean, right outside means he's going to show him the line. Mm-hmm. And Fleetwood missed the putt. And Bradley made the putt to win the tournament. He had a two-stroke swing.
Yeah.
Two-stroke swing on the last hole. And, you know, how can you not feel for the guy right there? I mean, it was just, you know, and Keegan Bradley, I guess, is from that area. I wasn't aware of this. I tuned in late.
He's a Boston guy, Boston area guy.
I got there right at the end after the College World Series ended. So I was looking for something to watch. And went over there and saw it. I got there just in time to watch the heartbreak. And but yeah, that was just a.
I think
he has never won on the PGA Tour. Is that right?
Never won, and has more top 10 finishes without a win than anybody in the history of the PGA Tour.
I remember when the PGA was over at Southern Hills. I went over one day for a practice round, and followed him for a little bit, like 2 or 3 holes. And like a lot of those guys, you know, he comes up to about your chest. I mean, he's a short guy, little guy. And but yet he finds a way to hit it 375 yards off the tee.
Ain't that the worst?
And but you know, he just keeps. It seems like he's been out there a long time on the tour. I mean, I don't know how many years he's been playing, but he's not won. And it looked like yesterday they kept showing his dad. You know, his dad was there on the 18th green, and they showed him the last time, and he kind of had that angst on his face. And I thought to myself, they may not show him again, you know, because you could just, you know, if he doesn't make this putt and Bradley makes his, he's going to lose. It's not even going to be a playoff.
Right.
He's going to lose. And they showed him, and then he was gone, and it was just a bad deal.
Brutal.
Oh, I mean, you saw it. But then, of course, last night you saw the thrill of victory with Oklahoma City winning the NBA title. All right, quick break, 6:30. This is the Chuck and Bo Show.
The two best guys in mediocre sports radio.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, guys, you hear us talk about the Sweat 'Em Edge on the Chuck and Bo Show. You've got your summer lineup set, but what about your skincare? Sun, sweat, and all that time outside takes a toll. Hit up the spa at Sweat 'Em Cosmetic Surgery for a facial or sun damage repair. It's not just for the ladies, guys. Call 479-966-4174. Again, that's 479-966-4174, and get your skin in the game.
With rainy season here and summer just around the corner, make sure your gutters are ready. Hogcroft Gutters, locally owned with over 30 years of experience, does it all. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drain. Fully licensed and insured with a 20-year warranty on every job. Serving Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. And if you're outside those areas, just give them a call or a text. And for a free inspection, visit hoggutters.com. That's hoggutters.com. You can tell I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
away from something that's much bigger than a win in Omaha. The 1-2 pitch.
When Chuck and I started the show, he said we want to deal with smart people, smarter than us. It's going to take a while for them to show up because they've been dumbed down, but they'll show up.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I think the cutout's aging well over here. We've got Bo's LinkedIn picture over Bart's body. But the winning smile, is still visible.
It looks so ridiculous.
It really does look silly.
Yeah.
It looks silly, but
nobody's ever going to accuse us of
Bo's going to be back around tomorrow, and everything will be back to normal. And so is it the shoes? We've had some texters about Halliburton's injury. By the way, I noticed this. I didn't really mention it, but all those guys I talked about a minute ago that tore their Achilles, they all wear number 0.
That's borderline creepy.
That's kind of weird. It's kind of weird that all of them wear number 0.
Don't wear 0, kids.
I don't know. I don't know if the shoes have anything to do with it. I don't know. Right? That's my honest statement. I have no idea. But I know that there are some texters who believe that the high tops would be the way to go. Did you guys wear high tops?
I mean, I did.
Did you? Did you wear high tops, Edward?
They weren't high, but they were, they weren't these low cut Kobe's that every player.
Oh, I know. Well, you got to look cool now. We wore high tops like to school, not just to play ball.
Chucks?
Yeah. High top Chucks back in the day. And, those were, you got a pair of high tops, got a pair of low tops at the start of the season. Kevin Durant traded from the Suns to the Rockets. That happened last night. All right, we were talking about great moments. I got 2 of them. I got 2 that stand out for me. The first one's one we were talking about a minute ago with Gage Wood.
1 out away from something that's much bigger than a win in Omaha. The 1-2 pitch. He struck him out swinging. Gage Wood no-hits him, and the Hogs win it 3-0. The greatest game ever pitched at the University of Arkansas. Here in downtown Omaha, Gage Wood throws a no-hitter.
That's a fun day. I mean, and again, just in terms of overall accomplishments, man, that one's hard to top.
Man.
I mean, they're going to play baseball a long time around here, and you're not going to top that. You're going to play football and basketball around here a long time. And in terms of just an individual performance, I don't know that anything's ever going to top that. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This is my favorite moment. If I had to pick one moment from the time they teed it up Labor Day weekend to the time they shut it down in Omaha the other night, this is it.
Goodbye. They're leaving. They're mass exodus.
They're heading for the exits. Can you believe it?
Goodbye.
That's when Arkansas beat Kentucky.
The glee
Up
in Z's voice.
Play that again. That is
Goodbye.
so good.
They're leaving. They're mass exodus.
They're heading for the exits.
it's
Can you
awesome.
believe it? Oh,
Goodbye.
it's awesome.
Z.
And
It's
They're
so
mass
good.
exodus.
just to provide a little visual there, I'm looking at the floor, watching the game. Z's like turning around, looking at the stands, waving.
Goodbye.
I mean, when he said goodbye right there, he didn't just say it into the microphone. He's turned around, arm in the air.
He's actually
Hands
saying
where
goodbye.
he is actually saying goodbye as they walk out of the arena. I don't for me, and I know everybody's got their own thing. That to me was the best moment of the year because
They're mass exodus.
it was if you remember, it was really unexpected. I'm not saying you expect a no-hitter at the College World Series with 19 strikeouts, but it was just Arkansas was going through such a tough time in basketball right then. And to win that game in that fashion, I can remember the night before at Rupp Arena running into, Jimmy Dykes was there. He was part of the call. And the way it works at the shoot-around is the TV guys will come, and they're generally there. And Dykes was there that night. They were taping some stuff with Cal about coming back to Rupp. And I just remember Jimmy saying, these are the games Cal wins. I've been around him a long time. Jimmy's been around him a lot more than the rest of us have. And we've paid attention to the Kentucky games closely when they played the Razorbacks, and he was their coach. But I don't know how much we watched them other than that. But he said then, he goes, these are the kinds of games he wins. And lo and behold, it happened the next night. I don't know, though, if there was an athlete this year that burst on the scene, was more celebrated, or was one that fans gravitated to more than Bree Ellis. And by the way,
best hitter in the whole country, and now they have to pitch to her. Ellis swings away, deep left field. Her first swing is as grand as it gets.
was that in the regional?
No, that was at the SEC tournament.
SEC tournament. They finally pitched to her, and she hit that.
Didn't throw her a strike the whole day until they had to.
I don't know, honestly, if there was an athlete on campus this year that wore the Razorback uniform that captured people's attention more than Bree Ellis. I mean, she was and by the way, Arkansas is the first school to have the National Player of the Year in baseball and softball.
Yeah.
Bart researched that. Our encyclopedia Bart researched that during the
Never been done before.
During the break. Never been done before. So that's a pretty big feather in the cap right there. But I don't know if there was an individual that captured people's attention more than the way she did. People gravitated, I think, towards our softball program more this year than any other year, or certainly than we've seen. And she was a big part of the reason why.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe
she was
the reason why.
Yeah, well, I mean, she was a big part of it for sure. I mean, when you have the type of season that she had, and it was just really an exciting player to watch. But the cool thing was, you talked about fans gravitating. It was all the kids gravitating toward her and the softball program. I sat out there after a game one time, and I think she signed autographs and took pictures for close to 45 minutes after a game. Like with just all these kids who had come to see the softball team play. And like, that's when you're making an impact. And not to say that didn't happen with the baseball team, because it did. And it routinely does with the baseball program. This was kind of like different, though. As you mentioned, people gravitated towards the softball team in that program this year, and she was as big a reason for it as anybody.
All right, Brent's in Cersei's up early today on a Monday. Brent, what's going on, man?
Oh, not much, Chuck. Just getting my day started with a heater and talking to you guys.
Well, it's just a usual day for you then, Brent.
That's right. That's right. I just wanted to call in and say what a great weekend it was to be a Razorback fan.
Did you go to the NBA Finals?
No, I did not.
Did you watch it last night?
I watched a little bit.
Okay.
But I must say, so proud, and for Vahiva getting named the Golden Spikes Award winner. He did so much. He's done so much for our program over his 2 years here at the University of Arkansas. And then I am so proud for Jalen Williams and Isaiah Joe. Not only are they NBA champions, but how many times do you find NBA champions that were high school teammates?
Yeah, it's just incredible. I mean, what a journey that they've been on. And yeah, I mean, sometimes you watch Oklahoma City play, and I forget. I mean, gosh, I could get in my car, be there in 3 hours. You know, maybe a little less if I get after it. And it is neat to have them so close by. And you're right. I mean, to be high school teammates and NBA champions together, you just don't hear about that.
Hey, Chuck, did you see where our backup catcher, Zane Becker's hit the portal?
Well, I didn't see that specifically, but I know some have hit the portal, yes.
I saw it this morning on X or Twitter or whatever it's called.
The one thing that I did notice of the people that have hit the portal so far, I mean, it was, it's all been a playing time issue. I think of the pitchers that have hit the portal, I'm not sure any of them even pitched this year. And the position players, Frazier played a little bit initially after Souza got hurt, but didn't play a whole lot after that. So
did Frazier hit the portal?
He did, yes. In fact, he may have been the first one to announce, or was one of the first ones to announce. So
who else?
I don't have the list in front of me. Guys you've never heard of. I mean, that's as honest as I can be. Guys you've not heard of. And that's what this. That's what this is right now. I mean, this is a playing time situation. Guys want to go where they can play, and they need to go where they can play.
Absolutely, they do. We'll hit the portal just like
that's right.
Anybody else.
That's right. Exactly right.
I didn't get a chance to Friday to give kudos to the outing that Thursday that Landon Vitalgy put out for us Wednesday night. That was just spectacular.
Yeah. Gave him a chance to win.
Chuck, I just can't stomach LSU. I just can't.
I hear you. Thanks, Brent. We got to hit a break. 6:47. This is the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Chris in Fayetteville. You're on the news, weather, information station.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, we're full service, baby.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, summer's heating up, and Splash Car Wash is keeping your ride looking fresh with a special deal just for listeners of the Chuck and Bo Show. Right now, buy one Best Wash and get 2 free. One for you, one for your spouse, one for a friend, or just keep them all. It's an easy way to stay clean, cool, and cruising all summer long. That's 3 top-tier washes for just $27. Text Splash Car Wash to 22322 to access this exclusive online-only offer.
If you haven't tried a flight by Yuengling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yuengling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yuengling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
Hey, Hey, if you've been thinking about a new ride, now's the time to make it happen. That's because Chevy of Fayetteville is kicking off their summer drive deals with some of the best offers you'll get all year. Trailblazers starting at $23,000, Colorados from only $30,000, the new Equinox EVs from just $30,000. No matter what you're looking for, these deals are real and they won't last long. So don't wait. Head over to Chevy of Fayetteville today. Together, let's drive.
Some moments just call for something unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you don't just buy a diamond. You create an unforgettable experience. Their newly remodeled space is stunning with Cafe B right inside and their in-house diamond expert that'll help you find the perfect piece every time. That's just part of the Blakeman's experience. When you see the purple bag, you know it's something special. It always saves the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
We never thought much about power outages until we had one during the worst possible time. As a busy mom, there are plenty of challenges in a day. But with Paschal, power outages don't have to be one of them. A whole home generator installed by the pros at Paschal gave me back my peace of mind. The process was easy and understandable. Now, I don't have to worry about losing power when storms arrive. Get a free estimate today and keep the power on with a whole home generator from Paschal. Professional people, professional service. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more. They carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today.
How was Saturday night for you after the game? What'd you do to celebrate?
The only few I thought maybe get a few cold beers in there and maybe help it out a little bit.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You're just going to have to go today. You're just going to have to. Today's going to be
what I told myself.
One of those days you're just going to have to go, and you'll be glad you did.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That's what I keep telling myself this morning. That's what I told myself. Just go. Just get up and go, and you'll feel better about everything once you do. And at some point, I'm sure that'll happen this morning. But, man, Mondays are rough. We're into the dog days of we're not into really the dog days of summer yet. But
it's awfully hot, though.
For Razorback fans, it's the dog days because there's no games to look forward to, and it is pretty warm outside. Hey, Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. This summer, if you're, maybe you're moving. Maybe you're moving into the area. Maybe you've been transferred. Maybe you're upsizing. Maybe you're downsizing. Whatever your situation, let the pros at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, help you with your move. Maybe it's your first time out. That's how my relationship with them started years ago. And over the years, I've watched the same thing that I went through happen with others. They don't really know what they're doing at the beginning. They partner with Weichert, and they turn it over to someone who does. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978. That's a long time. And that comes from building relationships. You don't stay in business whatever you're selling since 1978 if you don't have relationships with your customers. But in the real estate game, you're talking about probably the most money you've ever spent. And so when it goes well, man, you remember. When it goes poorly, you remember that too. I can tell you, you're always going to have a great experience with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. They're in Northwest Arkansas, Washington, and Benton counties. They're in Fort Smith. They're in Branson. Again, they've been turning houses into homes since 1978. There's a bunch of them out there. And you can check it out at WeicherGriffin.com. Coming up in the 7 o'clock hour, we'll recap what happened over the weekend, and the lines are out for week 1 in college football. Back with more in a bit.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, if you're struggling to get your Social Security disability, or you're buried in debt thinking about bankruptcy, don't wait. You need a legal team that knows how to fight for Arkansans.
That's why you can trust Cadell Reynolds. Bill Reynolds and his team know how to get results when it matters most. Whether it's personal injury, disability, or bankruptcy, they've got your back.
Dial 866-314-3728 or visit CadellReynolds.com today.
Cadell Reynolds. Make the right call.
As a play-by-play announcer, my eyes are everything. I need to see every detail on the field to call the game the right way. So when cataracts started affecting my vision, I knew I couldn't wait. I went to Dr. Betts and the team at McDonald Eye Associates. And truthfully, I wish I'd done it years ago. The difference is incredible. The whole experience was professional, easy, and honestly life-changing. If your vision's holding you back, take it from me. Don't put it off any longer. Schedule your appointment with McDonald Eye Associates today.
Hey, it's Bo. And for me, business comes down to working with people I like and can count on. And that's Teamwork Roofing and Construction. They do what they say, they're on time, and when they're done, it's like they were never there and you have a brand new roof. Built with expert craftsmanship and the best materials. When it comes to commercial or residential roofing, get the customer care Teamwork Roofing and Construction offers. Check them out on their Facebook page, Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Built on quality, powered by teamwork.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I don't know what on time is for you, but yeah, you got here before the show started.
Whatever. Hey, have you ever seen anyone that takes so much pride in being the first one here?
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
My favorite's when we're going to break, and we're not there yet, but I'm talking, and Chuck knows we're going to break, and he just disengages, sits back from his mic, takes his headset off, and I'm still talking.
Yeah, I need to stop doing that.
And he's on his phone.
That's not true. That is not true.
Like, I know you're rapping. I know you're about to land this plane, and I didn't care about your point to begin with, but I wish you to hurry up.
Hey, listen.
I'm indicative of the entire audience right now, Bo. Shut up.
I got to quit doing that.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this much.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo Show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Bo Mattingly continues his holiday today. His holiday getaway. He'll be back tomorrow. You think he's up? I mean, you think it's 7:02? He's up, listening.
I wouldn't be if I was him.
I don't. I would not imagine. Probably for a little while Friday, if I'm guessing.
Yeah,
just to make sure
just
it didn't
check in.
Make sure it didn't fall apart without him.
Yeah.
And he's probably moved on to other things today, but he'll be he'll be back tomorrow, bright and early at 6 o'clock.
Moved on to other things.
I'm anxious to talk college football, but I'm not really sure where to go on it. It's like, well, baseball season's over, at least in terms of college baseball, and here we are, like toward the back half of June. Talking season is upon us. We'll have SEC Media Days, I guess, a couple of weeks, right after the 4th. And but I'm not really sure where to go. So we'll go to gambling.
Well, of course.
We'll go to the betting lines and turn it over to Bart in the Situation Room. And who would you bet on this year out of the SEC? Let's just start with the SEC.
Okay.
Who are you looking at and saying I might put something on those guys
to win the whole thing?
To win the whole thing,
man. Well, Georgia. I think you start there. Georgia's 7-1 to win it all.
Well, let me backtrack.
Okay.
Let's just say make the playoff.
Okay, make the playoff.
Let's start there. Make the playoff.
Okay, well now, some of the odds aren't as good, right? Like Georgia's -230 to make the playoff, Alabama -200. Then you get LSU at +100, Ole Miss +175, Tennessee +300, Florida +350. That was surprising.
Where's Arkansas?
Arkansas, surprising to me, 18-1.
That's at the Oaklawn Sports app.
To make the college football playoff, which, I mean, look, that's probably the right, when you're looking at the teams around them, the other teams at 18-1 are Pitt, NC State, Texas State, and Toledo. So, I mean, that's probably I'm sorry, I'm almost laughing at Texas State and Toledo, but then you remember that the non-Power 5 school gets an automatic spot, so that's why those odds are as high. If they're favored to win their conference, then they're going to be in that mix to make the college football playoff. But like Oklahoma State's 33-1. They're probably going to struggle this year. Kentucky 40-1. Not looking like it's going to be a great year for Kentucky.
You can make Kentucky 500-1.
Vandy is 40-1 as well.
Huh.
So Mississippi State 80-1, and Mississippi State's the team that's like
everybody's picking them last, aren't they?
Well, they are. They have the worst odds to win the SEC this year. They are 500-1 to win the SEC.
Mississippi State is
500-1.
Well, they're not going to win the SEC, but
No,
I mean, I
I
some
think
of
they're
these,
gonna
it's
struggle, man.
it's like, I mean, again, Vanderbilt 40-1 to win the SEC. I mean, might as well be 1,000-1. It's probably. By the way, did you see where that quarterback talked about the Big Ten in less than flattering terms, and of course it brought Bielema out of the woodwork. As I've said before, I like Brett Bielema. But, man, when his teams are doing well, you can count on him having a lot to say. I was about to say run his mouth, but I'll rephrase that and say you can count on him having a lot to say.
That's right.
And
no doubt.
He does make it fun, but it's like when he disparages the SEC, he just leaves himself open. It's like you're talking about how the SEC's not any good, but he didn't have a lot of success in the SEC. And but I also think he's a Big Ten guy, and it's just a better fit overall.
Yeah. So basically, what Bielema said is that the 16 team, if we go to a 16 team college football playoff, he doesn't really like the idea of having 4 automatic spots for the Big Ten and the SEC. But he said that the SEC basically he said we're not doing a 16 team playoff unless the SEC plays non-conference games. That's basically what he's saying.
Oh, it's his decision.
And it's like okay, dude.
The SEC,
you know how tough this league is.
They're going to have to at some point go to 9
Probably
games.
so.
They're going to have to.
Probably so.
I understand the coaches not wanting to do it. I don't think it's good for Arkansas. Just to be perfectly blunt about it. But they're going to have to do that. They're going to get beaten over the head with this until they do. And there is going to be, I think it's going to be held against them. And now if you get 4 automatics, I guess you could safely stay at your 8 conference ball games. But I just think at some point the pressure's going to come to bear, and they're just going to have to do it.
I think you're right. I think the most important thing for the SEC right now as a conference is to just win another national title.
By the way, SEC baseball 6 years in a row now, conference or national championships. What is it? 5 teams, 6 years. LSU's won it twice in the last 3 years now. That's pretty dominant right there.
Have you seen? We were talking about gambling. I'm sorry.
That's all right. No. Go ahead.
Have you seen some of the games we have in Week 1
I know.
this year?
Yeah.
Like it's about.
You guys are going through them.
It's about as good as it gets.
Look at the schedule.
Auburn is at Baylor, and the Tigers a 2.5-point favorite. Alabama 13-point favorite at Florida State. Ohio State is a 3-point favorite at home against Texas for that 11 a.m. kickoff our time. Clemson a 3-point favorite against LSU, and Notre Dame a 2-point favorite at Miami. Those are all opening weekend games. Those are big games, and what I love is that a lot of them are being played on site, on campus.
Texas and Ohio State is the game that I think will set the tone for this season-long debate about whether the SEC or the Big Ten's better.
That's right.
That is the game right there that will set the tone for all of that conversation. Texas is carrying the banner in that game. I mean, it's like, you talk about holding your nose and rooting. Really. Your alternative is to root for Ohio State.
Never
and
happen.
all season long, hearing Big Ten fans talk about how the SEC is overrated. Is that enough to make you pull for Texas in that game? Could an old hand like Clay Henry pull for Texas in that game? Because I'm going to tell you guys, if Texas loses that ball game, if Ohio State beats Texas all season long, the narrative is going to be the Big Ten is better. And I'm not saying they're going to be right or wrong. I don't know. But that game, and part of it is, of course, Ohio State wanted to move it to a night game. Texas said no. It was part of the Fox package, their big noon kickoff, which will be noon at Ohio State, but it'll be 11 o'clock in the morning here. It's part of that package. I think there was a move in place maybe to switch this to a night game. Fox, from what I understand, was not totally disagreeable with that. Texas said no. And I don't blame them.
No,
I don't. I honestly think By the time we get to that game, I will pull for Texas. Not necessarily out of a sense of loyalty to the SEC, but I got to tell you, I dislike Ohio State as much, if not more, than I do Texas. You know, Texas has not been an opponent for a long time. I'm old. I do remember when the third Saturday in October didn't mean to me Tennessee and Alabama. It meant Arkansas and Texas. I remember it very, very well. I hated them as much as anybody. But I'm going to tell you, if Ohio State wins that game, it's liable to be a long season for the SEC.
You know, I was chuckling a minute ago because you asked me for SEC teams and their odds to win it all, to make the playoff. I completely forgot Texas was in the SEC for a moment.
I know.
I know. Like, does that still happen to people?
I know, yes.
Because like,
it does
I
to
was
me.
just like, I just totally went past them to Georgia. Like, it didn't even register that, oh, yeah, they are in the SEC.
It does. And
it's weird.
I still struggle with that, and I still struggle with Oklahoma.
To answer, yeah, exactly. To answer your question, though, I will not be rooting for Texas. I will not be rooting for Ohio State. I hope they play.
You will be a dispassionate observer.
I hope they play a great game and that it ends 2-2.
What are some of the other games on Week 1? Are there others out there? You mentioned Auburn and Baylor, Texas and Ohio State.
Alabama, Florida State.
Yeah, is that in Tallahassee, or is that one of those neutral site
I think that's
games?
a neutral site game.
Okay, all right.
Clemson hosts LSU.
Yeah, LSU always finds a way to lose Week 1.
Yeah, well, Brian Kelly always finds a way to lose Week 1 too. It's a match made in heaven. And then Notre Dame is at Miami.
Okay,
I think that's the Sunday game.
All right,
but I mean,
that's a pretty good lineup.
It's a pretty good slate for Week 1. Arkansas, well, we have Alabama A&M Week 1, I believe, coming in here.
Yeah, that's here, right? And then we go to Little Rock.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to punch up the schedule, but yeah, that and look, it'll be here before we know it, as the old phrase goes. SEC Media Days is next month. I'm not sure the dates, but I'm sure it's somewhere around the middle of we're less than a month away. I feel certain in saying that from SEC Media Days.
Looks like July 17th. Oh, July 14th through 17th.
The 14th through. Where is it this year?
It is in Atlanta.
Atlanta. All right. That is the 14th of July through the 17th.
Arkansas there on the 17th.
And by the time we get to the start of practice, most everything they talked about will be dated. You know,
completely irrelevant.
I mean, it's and there's all this competition now on media days. SEC, Big Ten, one of them's on television one week. The SEC network will have everything, and the Big Ten network has everything in terms of their conference media days. When they first started doing this, you know, I'm sure a lot of people tuned in. I don't know what the numbers are. I don't know. I have no idea. I know that for some reason people still go to SEC Media Days when it's all right there in front of you on a screen and you wouldn't have to move if you didn't want to. But people do still go, and they'll crank it up in Atlanta.
And God bless them.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time since I've been. There was a time, though. Hey, they're ready for football season, or will be ready for football season at the Oaklawn Sports app. In fact, that's where we saw the Week 1 lines. Edward was all over that. The season's never over with Oaklawn Sports. That's the bottom line. You can download the Oaklawn Sports app in the Apple App Store or in the Google Play Store to get in on the action. Futures, outright winners, spreads, totals, player props, game props, live in-game wagering. If you can name it, you can probably bet on it with the Oaklawn Sports betting app. And new Oaklawn customers can earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets. 7:15 Monday morning. This is the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Kids, there's never a good deal good enough with a bad person. Still a bad deal.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
With rainy season here and summer just around the corner, make sure your gutters are ready. Hogcroft Gutters, locally owned with over 30 years of experience, does it all. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drain. Fully licensed and insured with a 20-year warranty on every job. Serving Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. And if you're outside those areas, just give them a call or a text. And for a free inspection, visit hoggutters.com. That's hoggutters.com.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
All right, guys, you hear us talk about the Sweat and 'em Edge on the Chuck and Bo Show. You've got your summer lineup set, but what about your skincare? Sun, sweat, and all that time outside takes a toll. Hit up the spa at Sweat and 'em Cosmetic Surgery for a facial or sun damage repair. It's not just for the ladies, guys. Call 479-966-4174. Again, that's 479-966-4174 and get your skin in the game.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You hear that? You hear that?
Back to Save Sports Radio.
That's special.
You know, it wouldn't be so painful if I wasn't so smart. I wish I was dumb like everyone else. Wouldn't it be great if I were just dumber?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, if you're dealing with roof damage or you just know it's time to replace the one you got, Teamwork Roofing and Construction is the crew to call. They work on homes, businesses, even big commercial projects, and they do it the right way. Certified crews, top materials, no shortcuts. And they've got great brands, too, as well, whether it's metal shingles. They've got the bases covered. But here's the best part. They communicate, and they don't leave you hanging when the job's done. So check out their Facebook page. You'll see the kind of quality we're talking about. Teamwork Roofing and Construction, built on quality, powered by teamwork. Did you guys watch any of the College World Series over the weekend? Did you guys see any of it? Did you watch even a moment?
Not a second.
Okay.
On TV.
All right. What about you, Bart?
I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Paid attention kept up to date.
Oh,
via
you
social
paid attention
media.
when I alerted you yesterday.
Oh yeah. Well, I had to go.
To what was going on with that umpire?
I had to go see what that goofball was up to.
I said Friday I'm not going to watch it, and then of course I did, and I didn't see all of it Saturday night. I saw a lot of it yesterday, so I'm settling in yesterday, and they're in the bottom of the first inning. LSU's batting. No, check that. Coastal Carolina was at the plate, and they just stolen second base, and it seemed like everything was going along fine. Had to steal the second base. And then the umpire, pulls his little notepad out and gets his pen. And I'm thinking, well, something's going on. And here's what happened.
Oh, my goodness. He just threw Kevin Schnall out of the game. Wow. In the bottom of the first inning, the home plate umpire throws Kevin Schnall out of this game. And down goes an umpire who had come in to get in the middle of things. Schnall remarkably gets thrown out of the game. A College World Series game 2 in the bottom of the first.
Now they went on, Carl Ravitch and Peterson and Burke went on to, basically, I'm not going to say rip the umpire, but they basically said that was way too quick.
As much as you can in that situation.
And still be NCAA sanctioned.
Right.
Keep your gig. But all this happened in about 5 to 7 seconds. He was arguing balls and strikes, which you can't do. Although generally they allow a little bit of leeway. Coaches and managers in the big leagues, they bark. They'll chirp from the dugout and try to get calls, complain about others. And their guy was chirping. Now look, Coastal Carolina, their coaching staff, they got some hotheads on there. They're a coach kind of a hothead. But in this case, he's working him. It's a national championship game. And, this guy rips off his mask, pulls out his notepad, shoos him away, and then throws him out of the game. In the bottom of the first inning of a national championship game. And, again, the coach is kind of a hothead. I'll put it this way. I was kind of pulling for LSU because of the Coastal Carolina coach. Coastal Carolina is a good program.
Oh, man.
But they're a little mouthy for being Coastal Carolina. It's like, come on. I know you won the national championship, but at any rate, I was kind of pulling for LSU. But then this happens, and the guy gets thrown out of the ball game. And if you watched it, the first base umpire comes sprinting in like he's going to single-handedly defuse the situation. He's the guy that's going to stop it. I've had enough.
Yeah.
And so he runs to try to get between the head coach and the home plate umpire who's thrown him out of the game. Well, when he does, he's coming in a little hot and not terribly athletic. He runs like an umpire and trips over the guy's foot, and it was like one of those slow motion falls. It was like watching an old person like me fall, like trying to keep his balance. He was trying to keep his balance, but you knew he wasn't going to be able to pull it off, and just like bang, he goes down on the ground, and he immediately hops up, holding up 2 fingers, which means he bumped me, 2-game suspension. And he didn't bump him. The guy was just he just fell. And so all hell's breaking loose. And, of course, LSU ends up winning the ball game. They win the national championship, as I think, we expected them to in the, once they got by Arkansas. But the whole scene was just, it was – the umpire was, I thought, just way out of line. Just way out of line to throw him out as quickly as he did. This was the Coastal Carolina coach after the game.
there's 25,000 people there, and I vaguely hear a warning issued. As the head coach, I was assistant for 24 years, and as an assistant, you're almost treated like a second level citizen, and you can't say a word. Now, as a head coach, I think it is your right to get an explanation of why we got warned. And I'm 48 years old. I shouldn't get shooed by another grown man, right? So when I come out to ask what the warning is, a grown man shooed me. So at that point, I can now hear him say, it was a warning issued for arguing balls and strikes. And at that point, I said, because you missed 3. At that point, ejected. If that warrants an ejection, I'm the first one to stand here like a man and apologize. 2 words that define our program are own it. And what does that mean is you have to own everything that you do without blame, without defending yourself, without excuses. If you guys watched the video, there was a guy that came in extremely aggressively, tripped over Campos's foot, embarrassed in front of 25,000, immediately goes 2-game suspension and said, bumping the umpire. Immediately does that. There was no bump. He was embarrassed. I shouldn't be held accountable for a grown man's athleticism.
There you go. Or lack thereof. He is right about it. The guy was just embarrassed.
Well.
And you know, I mean, I guess I might have been too.
Yeah. Oh,
But it was a bad look for the NCAA. Don't go hunting for reasons to bring conflict about. It's like you don't have to always be the center of attention. And now this home plate umpire had big league experience. I think he was fired.
Yeah, well, he was Angel
cut.
Campos. Yeah, he was released as an umpire by Major League Baseball. He was fired. And if you go and you kind of look into his history as a Major League Baseball umpire, he was often criticized for being too soft and being too much of a hothead. Meaning he
had rabbit ears.
He didn't have composure behind the dish. And that obviously showed up again in the biggest moment of the college baseball season. So here's my question. Why is a guy who is fired by Major League Baseball for being, too soft as an umpire, why is he in that moment to begin with? And that's the question that I would like the NCAA to answer, because he made a buffoon of himself and of the game.
You know, the part in that soundbite, if you really listen closely, the part that made him mad was when he got shooed.
Yeah,
he got shooed.
He mentioned it twice.
Hey, can you play that again? Where he says, "I'm
shooed by a grown
48
man.
years old. I got shooed."
I'll see if I can find the spot.
See,
right, so when I come out to ask what the warning is, a grown man shooed me. So at that point, I can now hear him say, it was a warning issued for arguing balls and strikes. And at that point, I said, because you missed 3.
And let's also just acknowledge that the because you missed 3 was an incredible comeback.
Which
just an incredible comeback. And you could see him on the broadcast like holding up 3 fingers, and you could read it.
At that point, I said,
3.
because you missed 3.
It's a great comeback.
Which is worse, being shooed or shushed? I mean, either one of them.
That's pretty brutal.
Yeah,
I mean, brutal. Which is worse, being shooed or shushed?
Probably shushed.
See, I think so too.
I think being.
I mean, you want to start a fight at home?
Shush.
Shush.
Yeah.
Shush. Don't you shush me. Do
That's right.
not shush me.
Chuck, you sound like you have some
Well,
experience.
I'm just saying. But now being shooed for a guy, being shooed is probably worse than being shushed.
Probably so.
For a female, it's been my experience. I can only speak from experience. It's been my experience that shushing is worse than shooing.
Yeah, you don't want to shush.
Shushing is, I mean, that's going to get you in trouble.
Yeah.
But now again, you shoo a man. It's like, oh, you've disregarded him.
Right.
It's as though he does not matter.
Correct.
And I think that's what set him off. Yeah. I mean, you watch the video, you go back and watch the highlights. I mean, he was shooing him.
Yeah.
And that's when he came out of the dugout. I said, you're not going to shoo me. And that was the end of his day. But
if that warrants an ejection, I'm the first one to stand here like a man and apologize.
If that warrants an ejection.
Which it did not.
It did not.
It did not.
It did not.
But
didn't you when LSU was for me anyway, you guys weren't watching, but when LSU was dogpiling there at the end, I'm thinking, man, that ought to be Arkansas. That ought to be, and I realized they would have had to have played another game and all that, but I think we all kind of felt that as we watched it. All right, 877-377-6963, 7:32. This is the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
You guys are part of my family. Everyone that listens to this show is just part of the Chuck and Bo family. We're building a community here.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Some moments just call for something unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you don't just buy a diamond. You create an unforgettable experience. Their newly remodeled space is stunning with Cafe B right inside and their in-house diamond expert that'll help you find the perfect piece every time. That's just part of the Blakeman's experience. When you see the purple bag, you know it's something special. It always saves the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
Hey, if you've been thinking about a new ride, now's the time to make it happen. That's because Chevy of Fayetteville is kicking off their summer drive deals with some of the best offers you'll get all year. Trailblazers starting at $23,000, Colorados from only $30,000, the new Equinox EVs from just $30,000. No matter what you're looking for, these deals are real and they won't last long. So don't wait. Head over to Chevy of Fayetteville today. Together, let's drive.
When is the last time you thought, oh, the SEC's making an announcement today, and it's going to be good for the Hogs?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
in this room have opinions. Facts are secondary to a good argument.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oklahoma City Thunder win the NBA championship. Isaiah Joe, Jalen Williams, NBA champions. Oklahoma City beat Indiana last night, 103-91, first franchise championship in 17 years. This is the list that Isaiah Joe and Jalen Williams join. Former Razorbacks who have won NBA championships. In no particular order: Moses Moody, Jordan Walsh, Bobby Portis, Joe Klein, Corliss Williamson, Darrell Walker, Scott Hastings. That's not a huge list. I mean, it's not a, of course, they don't pass out NBA championships. But congratulations to them. I know there's a lot of Oklahoma City fans in the area, particularly on the western side of the state. And, of course, with Jalen and Isaiah there, a lot of people from Fort Smith, too. It's hard to imagine that two high school teammates, Fort Smith Northside, could, first off, I mean, what are the odds both of them are going to come play for the Razorbacks? I mean, it's not like that happens every day. But then to go win an NBA championship together, but just thrilled for them. And I'm sure they'll have a big parade over in Oklahoma City. Vahiva Aloy becomes the third Razorback in 10 years to win the Golden Spikes Award.
I have the pleasure of announcing the 47th edition of the Golden Spikes Award. It's Vahiva Aloy.
2-2 on Aloy, swing and a drive, right field, carrying, there it goes. Get out of here. There's a line drive left field deep. Back it goes to the wall, into the bullpen, out of here. Aloy with a 3-run homer.
Just truly blessed to be able to have this award and just to be able to play at Arkansas and for the people back at home too.
To watch him play shortstop the way that he does, I don't know that there's a better defensive shortstop in baseball.
I don't know, as a dad or a parent, can't find the word, but well deserved.
Peterson again from the daylight, pitches, and it's hammered by Aloy in the air to left field. He got it all way out of here. Vahiva Aloy just hit it out of the ballpark. He cleared the berm in left field.
This program meant a lot to me. Took a chance, and they just felt like family when I stepped on campus. So it's truly a blessing. My teammates, love them to death, and the coaches as well.
What's your last message to Arkansas baseball?
I love you, Arkansas.
3 in 10 years, Benintendi and then Cops and now Aloy. And we had Texter call in a little bit earlier. That's, talking about recruiting. And, Arkansas is already, by virtue of the fact that they've had 3 Golden Spikes Award winners in 10 years, they're already recruiting at an elite level. Obviously, something like this helps. It's going to be interesting to see how quickly Dave puts this roster together, because the only bad thing about playing as long as they played is you are behind when it comes particularly to the portal now. So, and as I think it was Matt Jones's article at Whole Hog Sports pointed out, we're less than 2 months away from the start of fall practice, because they're going to be able to practice more, longer day, or I think it's gone from like 20-something days to 30-something days. They'll start fall practice earlier. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's going to be interesting to see how fast it happens. I would imagine this will be a very interesting week. Lane's on the line in Cave City. Lane, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, I hope you're doing okay today, Mr. Chuck. So kind of got a question regarding football. My expectations, the way I'm looking at them, probably 6 wins, make a bowl, be happy. Am I being realistic, or am I being a downer? I guess is what I'm wondering.
Well, I think when you look at Arkansas's schedule this year, what's the Vegas deal? Is it 5.5 or 6.5?
It's 5.5, and it's minus 139 to the under.
So I don't think you're expecting anything. Maybe some others aren't too.
And it just makes you feel, like, well, all you're expecting is 6 wins. You feel like you don't have your bar higher. but also we are playing a very tough schedule. But that's all I was wondering. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you, Lane. I mean, look, I know how it works. We'll get to August, and we're going to have people pick Arkansas everywhere from, 9-3 or 10-2 to 0-12. I mean, that's just kind of how it works. I look at the Vegas over/under win totals every year, kind of like others do, and I was a little surprised that it was at 5.5. I thought it might be 6.5, 6.5 maybe. But it is what it is. And look, the one thing that I will say about the schedule and it's this way for a lot of SEC teams. If you're among the favorites, there's no guarantee that a team at the bottom can't beat you. And if you're one of those teams that's not among the favorites, and Arkansas seldom is. If you follow Razorback history, a lot of the great seasons they've had is when nobody expected anything out of them.
Yeah, just going to the schedule point for a second. I pulled up ESPN's Football Power Index to see kind of what they have to say. These are teams that are on Arkansas' schedule. Number 1, Texas. Number 7, Notre Dame. Number 8, Texas A&M. Number 10, Tennessee. Number 12, LSU. Number 13, Ole Miss. Number 14, Auburn. Like that. That's a lot of top 15 teams that you're playing.
Some of them won't be ranked in the top 15 when we get there.
No, certainly not. But I mean, that just gives you an idea of what Arkansas's up against this year.
Well, I mean,
and every year, really.
The Notre Dame game adds that adds a big time opponent to it. I think they'll beat Arkansas State, and they better.
Yeah.
That's the hard part of it, because that's what people around the state are saying. They'll beat Arkansas State, and they better. But it's a must-win game, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Anytime you play a non-conference game against what, from the outside looking in, is a lesser opponent, it's a must-win game. And obviously you add the in-state factor to it, and it just compounds that. But, hey, it's a difficult schedule. We say that every year. 877-377-6963, 746, Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
I got to be honest, and I may offend some people here, and I don't. It's fine.
You've done it before.
Well, probably a few minutes ago.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more. They carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
If you haven't tried a flight by Yuengling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yuengling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yuengling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, if you're struggling to get your Social Security disability, or you're buried in debt thinking about bankruptcy, don't wait. You need a legal team that knows how to fight for Arkansans.
That's why you can trust Cadell Reynolds. Bill Reynolds and his team know how to get results when it matters most. Whether it's personal injury, disability, or bankruptcy, they've got your back.
Dial 866-314-3728 or visit CadellReynolds.com today.
Cadell Reynolds. Make the right call.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Hey, it's Bo, and for me, business comes down to working with people I like and can count on. And that's Teamwork Roofing and Construction. They do what they say, they're on time, and when they're done, it's like they were never there and you have a brand new roof. Built with expert craftsmanship and the best materials. When it comes to commercial or residential roofing, get the customer care Teamwork Roofing and Construction offers. Check them out on their Facebook page, Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Built on quality, powered by teamwork.
Yeah, does Chuck sleep that much? Because it just sometimes...
He's old, so when you get old, you don't really sleep as much.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, I go a little bit deeper than most people. I mean, I wanted to know.
There is. Depth is a word that comes to mind to describe you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
7:51 as we move toward the top of the hour. My man Gavin's on the line in Van Buren. Gavin, what's going on this morning? I can't hear you, Gavin.
Speak loud.
Okay, the Thunder won the championship last night.
Yeah, we were talking about it just a minute ago. You're right.
I'm a Thunder fan.
Well, good for you. You're having a good day then.
Yeah. And I think I picked the best year to become a Thunder fan too, because I got into sports all in December of 2 years ago.
Or
I definitely picked the best year to become a Thunder fan.
yeah. Having a little problem there here in Gavin. Gavin, I know Oklahoma City fans are happy today, though, and happy for you and happy for Isaiah Joe, Jalen Williams, and all the others that get to celebrate that. So congratulations to Oklahoma City. And I got to admit, when Halliburton went down for Indiana last night, I turned the channel because, I mean, my feeling at that point was it's over. And it is so strange that you have Tyrese Halliburton for Indiana, Jason Tatum for Boston, Damian Lillard for, was it the Bucks?
The Bucks.
They all have torn Achilles tendons, and they all wear number 0. And it's just kind of like Twilight Zone-ish that
all in the East.
That happened, all in the Eastern Conference. And
all the stars.
It's got to be the shoes. That's the consensus among our texters today, Bart. It's got to be the shoes. I don't know if they're right or not, but that's what they're saying.
Well, I mean, there might be some truth to that. I mean, shoes don't have as much like give as they used to, and there's certainly something to that. As we see more and more injuries, it doesn't make sense, right? That we're seeing more and more significant injuries with better and better, staffs and training and technology. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, hey, I want to say this too. I was reading some of the text here as you were talking, Bart. Not that I wasn't paying attention to what you were saying, but I was reading some of the text
People
as you
usually
were
don't.
talking. No, I mean, I don't remember right now what you were talking about, but in the moment I was there. Look, I know we're all disappointed Arkansas didn't win the national championship. I know for a lot of people they feel like they have earned it and that they've not gotten the championship that they want. That does not diminish what Vahiva Aloy's done. I'm a little – we got to do better than this. I'm a little disappointed in some of the texts that I've read about, diminishing what he's done because the team didn't accomplish what you thought they should. And the failure, and failure is not really the right word, but Arkansas not winning the national championship doesn't take anything away from Aloy or Cops or Benintendi or any of the other players who have won the award. Let's just be happy for the young man instead of throwing darts. Almost 8, back in a bit. Why deal with the stress of commercial travel when you can fly on your schedule with Jet Aircraft? No TSA lines, no baggage claim, no waiting around. Just you and your crew flying in comfort and style. Whether it's a weekend getaway, a golf trip, or planning your football travel for the fall, Jet makes it easy. Seats up to 9 with a full bar, custom catering, and plenty of space. Visit Jet NWA for pricing and more. That's Jet with 2 T's.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. And every Wednesday is Wine Down Wednesday. 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale. But when it comes to selection, amazing prices, and unbeatable customer service, Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville is second to none. Wine, beer, and spirits. Stock up for your next party or just stop by and grab your favorite. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
We never thought much about power outages until we had one during the worst possible time. As a busy mom, there are plenty of challenges in a day. But with Paschal, power outages don't have to be one of them. A whole home generator installed by the pros at Paschal gave me back my peace of mind. The process was easy and understandable. Now, I don't have to worry about losing power when storms arrive. Get a free estimate today and keep the power on with a whole home generator from Paschal. Professional people, professional service. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
Why don't you just kind of style it up a little bit at the game? Let's get your drip going.
Hey, I got a lot more drip than you think.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
That yell stuff, that yell leader stuff is the weirdest crap I've ever seen. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen another human do.
I'll tell you what's really weird, too, is
Maybe
watching
I'm
them
sheltered.
practice. They practice before the games outside the stadium.
If that was happening out front of Circle K this morning at 5:40 or whatever when you're coming in here and you saw that happen, you would call the authorities.
Every time I see it, I expect people to start drinking Kool-Aid and just falling out. I mean, it is nuts.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to
The show of record for Razorback fans.
Driving my son to school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
You may have noticed there we were talking about Texas A&M, and the Aggies and all that stuff. We had a text a little bit earlier, and I'm hard-pressed to answer the question. How come Texas A&M is always picked to do so well when it never seems to work out that way at the end of the season? What are they to make the college football playoff this year? 3-1?
They are 3-1, which puts them on same odds as Tennessee. And slightly behind Michigan and Miami, who are plus 200.
Do you think of A&M as a playoff contender?
In this era, yes.
Do you?
In this era, yes.
I'm kind of borderline there. I mean, I got nothing against A&M. They're a great program, but it does seem like every year, A&M. It started when Jimbo Fisher went down there. And every year it's, A&M's loaded. I mean, they got this, they got that, they got 5 stars, they got, so-and-so out of the portal, and then it doesn't.
They're Aggies, man.
Well, look, it's hard to live up to expectations. I mean, it is. But I just thought that was an interesting question from a listener there.
They do always seem to kind of fall short, right?
So A&M's 3-1. What are the SEC odds to make the playoff?
SEC teams.
SEC teams, yeah.
Texas is minus 400.
Okay.
Georgia minus 230. Alabama minus 200. LSU's plus 100. Ole Miss plus 175. Tennessee and A&M are plus 300. Florida plus 350, which is something. Auburn plus 450. Oklahoma plus 525 along with South Carolina. And then you get to Missouri at 8-1. And then it kind of
Arkansas is
drops
18-1.
Yeah, Arkansas is 18-1.
And the worst is Mississippi State.
Mississippi State is 80-1.
All right. Wow. It's probably not going to happen for them. It was interesting. It was interesting as you were running through those numbers. I mean, 3-1. People bet 3-1 odds all the time, but you're already into, I won't say necessarily the bottom of the league, but you're getting into the bottom half. By the time you get to like Auburn at 5-1 or 5.5-1, whatever, you're into the bottom half of the Southeastern Conference.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
true.
And look, you can say a lot of the same things about the Big Ten, but I mean, it's really remarkable when you think about it. If you were to go to an Auburn fan right now and say, what are they going to be like? They're going to be okay. I mean, we're going to be all right. This new quarterback, blah, blah. But yet, I mean, still 5-1. I mean, that's it's not outrageous odds, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
I just looked at Mississippi State's football schedule.
Yeah.
The SEC schedule, it's going to be a tough year for them.
They're going to go over.
Tennessee at A&M, at Florida, Texas at Arkansas, Georgia at Missouri, Ole Miss.
Man,
that's rough.
And the problem for them, for us, for lots of schools in the league is that, I mean, it's hard to climb over teams because they're getting better and they're at the same time you're improving too. I was thinking about this yesterday. I was just driving and thinking a little bit about college football season, looking ahead, and it is just there are teams in our league, and we're one of them that you look at and you think, how in the world are they going to leapfrog over all these other teams? Because we say, well, we want to be as good as. We want to be like Alabama. We want to be like Georgia. But, I mean, you look at all the teams you got to pass just to get there. And those teams are all thinking the same thing too. And it's that's why that you've only had 6 schools that have won the SEC since 1977, which I think is one of the most remarkable stats in college sports. And the SEC as a conference just keeps getting bigger. But the list of champions stays right about the same, at least in football. Now, obviously, in the other sports, things change a little bit more rapidly. But in football, you think about this. The SEC has won the last 6 national championships now in baseball with 5 different schools. 5 different schools have won the last 6 national championships in baseball. You've only had 6 schools win a conference championship in football since 1977, a span of 48 years. There is such a difference in football and basketball and baseball. People start making comparisons, and that's when you can really, you get into trouble. But it's hard to do. I mean, it's just really, really hard to do. NBA drafts this week. Adu Thero is the name that I guess we're going to be paying attention to around here. Carter Knox is back. Boogie Flan went to Florida. So Adu Thero is the name that's out there. I saw where Cal was giving him some props last week in some of his appearances. I don't know how long the string is. Calipari's got a long string of first-round draft picks or a long run of first-round draft picks. Adu's right there on the, right there on the cusp.
Yeah.
I saw where Edward has informed me that CBS has him going 29th. There are 30 picks in the first round. CBS has him going number 29 to Phoenix. Bleacher Report has him going, 31, 32. Has him going number 32 to the Celtics. ESPN has him going number 34 to Charlotte. So he's going to get drafted.
Yeah.
It's just going to be close on whether or not it's first round or not. It seemed to me like, and I could be off base on this, but it seemed to me like when Knox went into the made himself available, Boogie made himself available. I thought all along Knox would come back. Now, I do think that Knox made the most progress last year in terms of, his stock, so to speak, particularly at the end of the year. But I thought all along he would come back. I thought all along Boogie would return to college. I never thought Boogie would stay in the draft because his stock was just dropping too rapidly. I was hoping maybe he'd come back here, but the writing kind of appeared on the wall, and you could kind of tell that he probably wasn't going to stay in the draft, and he probably wasn't coming back to Arkansas. In other words, with those two, I think it was strictly, maybe not strictly, but again, from the outside looking in, it had the appearance that these guys are weighing their options. They're truly weighing their options. And if I was a betting man, I'd bet on them coming back to college. With Thero, I never for a moment thought he'd be back. I didn't know if he'd be a first-round pick, still don't. And obviously it's borderline. But sometimes guys, you can just tell they're ready to go be pros. And, from being with the baseball program for so many years, some guys were just ready to go. People would say, and, people are saying about Thero now, and they said this about Boogie and said it about Knox, and they'll say it about other players. Man, if they'd come back for one more year, they might be a lottery pick, or they might go in this round, or they might go in that round. Some guys are just ready to go. Some guys are tired of being in school. Some guys are ready to go be professional athletes. We had baseball players many, many times, still do. Guys will sign for not all that much. They're just ready to go. They've still got collegiate eligibility remaining. Now, NIL and that has certainly changed things. because sometimes you've got the certainty of a collegiate payday now, and a professional check's rather uncertain by comparison. But it just seemed to me with Adu that he was dead set on being an NBA player.
Yeah, I think so. I think he had spent his time in college basketball and knew he was going to get drafted somewhere. And again, like, we don't know, and we won't know until after this process plays out this week, what kind of deal he's going to get, or like he might have a guarantee from a team that, hey, if you're available at this point, we're gonna give you a guaranteed contract. That's what we saw happen to Jordan Walsh a few years ago. So
he's still there too.
Yeah, and he's
still there.
He's still there,
still getting paid.
And so some guys, yeah, they're just done. Maybe they're done with college, but maybe they're also just ready to start that NBA clock.
That's right.
Right? And start
and
that
Adu's
clock.
a little
Yeah.
older.
Yeah.
Adu's a little
so
older.
it makes all the sense in the world for Adu.
This was Cal talking about Adu Thero.
Adu Thero, if anybody misses that, it's going to be like they missed on, you ready?
Yeah.
Emmanuel Quickly.
Okay.
I've gone through
Adu
when they
Thero.
missed. Adu Thero is a first-round draft pick, and I'm going to tell you why. The league, I love the physicalness of the league right now.
Absolutely.
I love it because you got to work to get a basket. It ain't horse anymore. You can't shoot. It is, you got to get, and someone better screen because the guy's holding like that.
Yeah, no holding,
I mean,
no
all
holding.
that stuff. A dude can play in a physical game and athletically be in the top 1%. He's somebody, if you pass on, they'll look back and say, how many people passed on him?
So there you have Cal talking about Adu. I think he's bullish on Adu Thero. I think it'd be fair to say that. I do like the fact that, the game is a little bit, in the Eastern Conference anyway, it's a little more physical than it was, and that may very well play into his hands. But look, Cal was talking last week about how much money the players who've played for him have made over the years, and I think Adu will stick. I don't know that it's going to be one of those situations where right off the bat you say, man, Adu Thero was the steal of the draft. But I think we'll look up 5 years from now, and he'll still be in somebody's uniform. He'll still be wearing somebody's uniform. Maybe not the team that drafts him, but he'll still be playing in the NBA. We'll see. But I
think that's a good bet.
He's certainly got the size and the physical aspects that the pro game requires. All right, before we go to a break, I want to talk about First Security Bank. I've been trying to do this for about 20 minutes now. They are our friends, and they do make better happen in Arkansas, at home, at work, out in the community. They know a lot about that. First Security's only in Arkansas, so they're committed to helping local individuals as well as families and businesses. They want them all to reach their goals, whatever those goals might be. Might be buying a house. Their mortgage professionals guide people through the buying process, from setting the budget to signing the papers. Maybe you want to put more into savings. First Security offers easy ways to track your spending and manage money. Or maybe you want to prepare for the future. That's a big goal. First Security can help you plan a comfortable retirement that protects your assets and your family. Whatever your needs, whatever your better is, you can get there with First Security Bank. First Security Bank Better. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. 8:16, good morning, the Chuck and Bo Show.
We're a little bit over our head
Well,
here,
I
but
know.
we're doing the best we can. We're doing the best we can.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Some moments just call for something unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you don't just buy a diamond. You create an unforgettable experience. Their newly remodeled space is stunning with Cafe B right inside and their in-house diamond expert that'll help you find the perfect piece every time. That's just part of the Blakeman's experience. When you see the purple bag, you know it's something special. It always saves the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
As a play-by-play announcer, my eyes are everything. I need to see every detail on the field to call the game the right way. So when cataracts started affecting my vision, I knew I couldn't wait. I went to Dr. Betts and the team at McDonald Eye Associates. And truthfully, I wish I'd done it years ago. The difference is incredible. The whole experience was professional, easy, and honestly life-changing. If your vision's holding you back, take it from me. Don't put it off any longer. Schedule your appointment with McDonald Eye Associates today.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Hey, it's Bo. And for me, business comes down to working with people I like and can count on. And that's Teamwork Roofing and Construction. They do what they say, they're on time, and when they're done, it's like they were never there and you have a brand new roof. Built with expert craftsmanship and the best materials. When it comes to commercial or residential roofing, get the customer care Teamwork Roofing and Construction offers. Check them out on their Facebook page, Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Built on quality, powered by teamwork.
You know, I want Texas to lose. Yeah, I want them to rot in hell.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
One of the rules we set down when we started this show was we're not going to leave our best shots on the driving range.
We do it every day.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You said you smoked a brisket? Is that the story? You smoked a brisket
Yeah.
over the weekend, Bart?
Yeah, I
Whoa,
did.
well, how come you didn't bring any in?
I've got plenty.
I mean,
we could have done like breakfast tacos. or
Yeah, I
something.
mean, we're over here starving.
I would have brought tortillas.
It's like 8:20, and like
Could've been a
none of
team
us have
effort.
had breakfast, and everybody's hungry. And Bart's, I smoked a big brisket over the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have brisket all week long.
I am.
Well, that's not doing us any good right now.
I apologize.
Did everything work out well?
Yeah, it worked out great.
Yeah. How long do you how long you smoke your brisket?
It's all temperature based, so
Yeah.
it's about when it gets to a certain temperature. I put mine on, first thing in the morning, and
right.
Took it off, let it rest for a couple hours in the cooler, and
So how long did you smoke it?
So how long did you
Well,
smoke it for?
I'm trying to do the math here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember when I
How
put
long
it
was
on.
the process?
I mean the process.
Is this a
When did you
day-long deal?
eat the brisket?
That evening.
Okay, when did
Saturday.
you put it in?
I put it on at 9, I think.
What time did you eat?
Around 7.
Okay.
Well, there
so
you go.
we got a 10-hour deal.
Yeah.
We got a 10-hour deal right there. From the time you first put it in to the time you actually sat down and began carving.
Right.
10 hours. That ain't bad. Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room, if you've been thinking about a new ride, now is the time to make it happen. Chevy of Fayetteville kicking off summer drive deals, some of the best offers you're going to see all year. Trailblazer starting at $23,000. Grab a Colorado for only $30,000. And if you've had your eye on an EV, the Equinox EV, finally here, sleek, efficient, starting at just $30,000. We got basketball stuff out?
Yeah, we've got some way too early top 25 rankings from On3. This is version 9.0, so apparently the 9th set of way too early rankings that have already come out this year. Purdue number 1, Houston number 2, Duke number 3, so a couple of Arkansas opponents there at 2 and 3. Florida is 4, Kentucky is 5, Auburn is 6, and then you have, let's see, Alabama is 10, Arkansas 11, then Tennessee 13, Louisville, another Arkansas opponent, 14, and just I'm scrolling through this. They didn't put out a graphic like they normally do, so it's not as easy to get through.
Well, you're making it sound easy.
Texas Tech is 19, another Razorback opponent. Baylor 23, another Razorback opponent, and Texas A&M at 24. So I'll say this. Arkansas might have the toughest basketball schedule in the country next year.
Well, I mean, it's but they're equipped for it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And as you said last week, that you don't put a schedule like that together unless you think you're pretty good.
That's right.
Basketball is not like football, where, you know, everything's made years in advance, and if you don't want to play the game, you got to spend money to get out of it and things like that. In basketball, they can throw these things together fairly quickly.
That's right.
And television has a lot to do with it. And, you know, we were going through some of the games Arkansas is going to play next season last week, and so many of them are, you know, what I would call made for television events. But that is, I mean, the league again, it is amazing what has happened with basketball in our league. And I don't think any of this is going to change in terms of the dominance of the SEC and the Big Ten in football, the dominance of the SEC, and I don't know who the other conference is in basketball right now that would be considered.
The Big Ten thinks they are.
Yeah, the Big 12's had some good years. Yeah. Baseball, it's the SEC by a long shot. I don't see any of that changing, just because of the TV deals, the revenue share. I mean, look, if we get into a college football playoff, and you've got 16 teams, and half of them are guaranteed to be comprised of the SEC and the Big Ten, there's a pretty good chance that, you know, one of those teams is at the least going to play for the national championship and very likely going to win the national championship. And I'm going to tell you this, in basketball this year, I mean, it's nothing more than just a feeling, which may be completely off base by the time we get there, I'll admit. But I got a feeling Hogs are going to pass them all this year in basketball. Great players, and sometimes it seems anyway, great coaches. I'm certain about this with great players will make their biggest jump between their first and second year. Now, I know Cal's been coaching a long time. I'm not suggesting that, he's making a jump between his rookie year and his second season, but it's his second season at Arkansas. And I was thinking as we were talking about the NBA draft a few moments ago with, Thero being our guy this year, this will be the only time in the Calipari era at Arkansas where we're talking about only one guy being taken in the draft, unless the years fall where, unless you have a situation come up that I can't foresee. This is the only time we're going to be talking about one player. There's going to be multiple players. And I just get the sense when you look at the roster that he's put together for next year, and you look at the schedule that he is willing to play, I think maybe they're turning the corner and arriving ahead of schedule. I mean, I could be wrong on that, but I thought many times this past season it will be better every year from this point going forward. And I mean, when I look at it next year, I know everybody else is going to be good based on the numbers you just gave. But again, I think Arkansas passes them all this year.
There's a very realistic chance that Arkansas has 3 first-round picks in the 2026 draft on their roster.
Is that right?
Sure. I mean, Carter Knox.
Yeah.
Darius Acuff, Malik Thomas.
Yeah.
There's a very real chance that they have 3, maybe more first-round picks on their roster. That tells you a lot right there.
Well, it does, and I'm anxious to get there. I mean, we got a lot to do between now and then, but you know, and more of these top 25 rankings are going to come out, and hopefully football goes well. And, you know, we're not we're still talking about football maybe when October rolls around as opposed to, you know, the basketball season that's coming up. But it will be here soon, and it's hard to imagine that we're already moving toward the back half of June. But college baseball season's over now. LSU won the championship over the weekend, and everybody begins to turn their attention to SEC football now. All right, 877-377-6963. And this is the Chuck and Bo Show, 829. Good morning.
I don't need Chat GTP. I've got Chuck GTP.
Amen. The Chuck and Bo Show.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
At the Stonebreaker Hotel, we believe in the art of gathering, whether over a thoughtfully prepared meal or a quiet moment on Markham Hill. Start your day with breakfast classics from the all-day menu, served from 7:30 to 1. Savor shareable bites from the bar and lounge menu until 10. And let the dinner menu from 5 to 9 bring familiar flavors with a fresh twist. And for a weekend well spent, how about brunch? Rooted in connection, designed for comfort. Learn more at stonebreakerhotel.com.
I am amazed at the number of people who think they're smart.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
on this hot day. It's supposed to hit 90 today, Bart?
Oh, it's going to be hot.
It's going to
and
be close.
It's going to feel hotter. Most of the states under heat advisory.
Really?
Yeah, just stay inside. Drink water.
National Hydration Day and National Detroit-Style Pizza Day, which I guess we discovered earlier, or you guys revealed earlier, or told me, basically, that it's like Chicago-style pizza, essentially.
No.
That is what you guys said earlier.
No.
All right, explain it to me.
It's like the opposite of Chicago-style pizza. It's rectangular. The slices are cut into squares. It's kind of a thicker crust, a deep dish crust.
It's like Little Caesars.
It's Little Caesars. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Chicago style is the big crust and the sauces on top and everything. What, Chuck? What's your go-to pizza?
I like a thin pizza. I don't like the deep dish.
Like
You
a
like
wood-fired or
you
just
like a
like
New
I
York
like a
crust?
wood-fired pizza.
You like
I
a
do
New
like
York
a
style
wood-fired.
pizza?
No, I like a thin crust. I like a thin, crunchy crust.
A crunchy crust.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although I will say this, that stuffed crust stuff's pretty good now. That stuffed crust pizza is pretty good. I certainly won't argue with that. I don't know these people on the birthday list. I mean, I know who Randy Jackson is.
Yeah.
Who are these others?
Zinedine Zidane is a soccer legend, played for France. He's the guy who got red carded in the World Cup final for headbutting the guy for Italy.
Oh, yeah.
It was a big thing at the time. It was a long time ago now. Jason Mraz is a musician. There were not a lot of great options for the birthdays today.
I was going to say.
It was kind of less than stellar.
Kind of like a lost Monday right there.
Yeah, well.
Hey, we were talking about the weather. Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. When you're a Pascal customer, comfort and quality, they're just part of your daily routine because for over 50 years, homeowners have trusted them for world-class service. They do things differently. Premium service, expert installation, and every detail matters. And right now, you can get a brand-new high-efficiency AC and furnace system starting at just $79.99. Payments as low as $100 a month. No shortcuts, no surprises, just Pascal quality at a price more families can afford. Same-week installations available. So click over to gopascal.com to schedule professional people, professional service, Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. We were talking football a little bit earlier. Did you guys see this story about the University of Wisconsin on Friday filed a lawsuit against the University of Miami saying their football team broke the law by tampering with a Badgers player. Now, this, to my knowledge anyway, is the first time this has happened.
The lawsuit, not the tampering.
Yeah. The tampering happens every day. First time there's been a lawsuit. Now, they don't name the player in the suit, but it has to do with freshman defensive back Xavier Lucas. Now, here's what happened. Lucas left Wisconsin and enrolled at Miami after saying the Badgers staff refused to enter his name in the transfer portal in December. Now, in the complaint filed on Friday, family at a relative's home in Florida said offered him money to transfer shortly after Lucas had signed a 2-year contract with the Badgers. So, in other words, he's under contract with Wisconsin. Miami offers him money. He leaves and goes to Miami. And Wisconsin's trying to enforce the contract is basically what it boils down to.
Right. You know, the connection to what, here is kind of what Arkansas has been trying to do with enforcing NIL buyouts. This is the first, though, Chuck, as you said, time it's gone to a legal situation where you're dealing with, just interference, basically.
Well,
contract interference.
It's a real issue. I mean, tampering's a real issue.
And it is like this. What happened here? What reportedly happened here is against the law. If you determine that an NIL contract or a contract with the university is legally enforceable, then this is against the law.
Well, what about, though, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here, what if he wanted to enter the transfer portal and the coaches there did take some steps to try to keep him from entering the portal? I mean, I understand the enforcement of contracts. I do. I've been involved in a few of those myself over the years. Yep. But if somebody doesn't want to be there, if somebody doesn't want to be there, you're not going to get much out of them anyway. It wouldn't seem to me. But I do understand trying to enforce contracts. And I understand that when you have paid someone, and because I'm sure when he was at Wisconsin, he was getting some money, you cannot expect to be able to just walk away and not have somebody come after you. That's not the real world. If that's the message that these kids are getting, then this is just another way that they're being failed, or we're failing them, or, you can find fault with whoever you want, but it's not the way the real world works, the bottom line. I don't know all the particulars on this, but I suspect that we're going to see a lot of stuff like this. I don't know where Arkansas is in terms of this Iamaleava stuff. I don't know where they are in terms of trying to get that money back. There's a lot of talk about it, and it's kind of moved to the back burner. It doesn't mean it's not still being dealt with. I'm just saying I don't know the status of that.
No new news there.
Right there. And we're not talking about, life-changing money in either case. For the kid or the school. But at some point, there's got to be the realization on the part of players and their representatives that you can't just go one place, take their money, not play in a game, and then go play somewhere else. At least I don't think you can. I mean,
you shouldn't be able
there are
to.
lots of things that these guys are being allowed to do now that just kind of defy explanation. So I have no idea how this is going to turn out. But if you're one of those, and Arkansas found themselves in this spot, and obviously Wisconsin did too, when you pay a guy some money, I mean, you want something back. I mean, you want the opportunity, obviously, to get some kind of performance out of the guy. I don't know how you get around it. I know that in the pros, for example, you get game checks.
That's right.
You get game checks in the pros.
If you hold out, you don't get paid.
If you hold out, you don't get paid. And it is pay for play. It is pay for play. And they can say that it's not, but it is. So I just wonder if maybe somewhere down the road,
it's got to happen.
You can't modify it to where it's a little bit more like what the NFL get. Now, look, here's the flip side. If you're being paid by the game in the NFL, boy, you get a big check. I mean, that one game check's a big check. It may not be quite like that in college. And I realize, too, that every situation's different. Kids have different needs, and I don't know that what I'm talking about could even be made workable. I don't know. But I do know that, if you're going to get a check, generally speaking, you got to put a little work out there to have the opportunity to keep getting them. And I don't blame Wisconsin. I don't blame them at all. Just like I don't blame Arkansas either. Hey, some moments in life call for something unforgettable. And at Blakeman's, that's what you always get. It's not just about buying a diamond. It's about creating an unforgettable experience. The newly remodeled space, you're just talking about that in Bentonville. When you walk in, you feel the difference. And don't forget Cafe B right inside. Perfect spot to relax, enjoy, and let your experience come to life. And Blakeman's has their own in-house diamond expert, someone who's ready to guide you, help you find the perfect piece every single time. And you can't leave without the purple bag. We all know it's more than just a bag. It's got a little magic in there, too. Always saves the day. So whether you're shopping for a diamond, an anniversary gift, or Something special for yourself. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry is here to make it unforgettable. Blakeman's, it's more than jewelry. It's your story.
I want to see you and Bart in the old three-legged race.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Let me just...
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, summer's heating up, and Splash Car Wash is keeping your ride looking fresh with a special deal just for listeners of the Chuck and Bo Show. Right now, buy one Best Wash and get 2 free. One for you, one for your spouse, one for a friend, or just keep them all. It's an easy way to stay clean, cool, and cruising all summer long. That's 3 top-tier washes for just $27. Text Splash Car Wash to 22322 to access this exclusive online-only offer.
If you haven't tried a flight by Yingling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yingling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yingling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer.
We never thought much about power outages until we had one during the worst possible time. As a busy mom, there are plenty of challenges in a day. But with Paschal, power outages don't have to be one of them. A whole home generator installed by the pros at Paschal gave me back my peace of mind. The process was easy and understandable. Now, I don't have to worry about losing power when storms arrive. Get a free estimate today and keep the power on with a whole home generator from Paschal. Professional people, professional service. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, if you're struggling to get your Social Security disability, or you're buried in debt thinking about bankruptcy, don't wait. You need a legal team that knows how to fight for Arkansans.
That's why you can trust Cadell Reynolds. Bill Reynolds and his team know how to get results when it matters most. Whether it's personal injury, disability, or bankruptcy, they've got your back.
Dial 866-314-3728 or visit CadellReynolds.com today.
Cadell Reynolds. Make the right call.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
With rainy season here and summer just around the corner, make sure your gutters are ready. Hogcroft Gutters, locally owned with over 30 years of experience, does it all. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drain. Fully licensed and insured with a 20-year warranty on every job. Serving Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. And if you're outside those areas, just give them a call or a text. And for a free inspection, visit hoggutters.com. That's hoggutters.com.
So I spent yesterday, you mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck and I started the show. He said we want to deal with smart people, smarter than us. It's going to take a while for them to show up because they've been dumbed down, but they'll show up.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
8:50 Monday morning, going to be hot all week long. Summer's arrived. And
brutal.
Not anything we can do about it.
It already, just here in Fayetteville, where we originate the show, it is already 80 degrees, and it feels like 87.
Right now?
Yeah, that is not a great indication of what today is going to be like.
Man, it's going to be that way all week, I think, too, as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Humidity's at 71% already. Oh, gosh.
Let's see. 90 today, 91 tomorrow, 90, 91, 92,
it's gonna
93,
feel like 100.
91. We'll get a little break in the heat a week from today. A week from today,
can't
only
wait.
89.
Can't wait.
When we were saying last week, early in the week, when's it going to stop raining?
Well,
pretty much now.
Here we are.
Pretty much now.
Here we are.
And we might get some next week. We'll be praying for it by then. But it's summertime is
might be a pop-up summer shower at some point.
It's just
the
like
next couple
all of a
days,
sudden
you
it's
know?
here. And but I guess, we're moving toward the
Wear
end of June.
sunscreen. UV index is high today, as high as it gets today.
Yeah. And
it's going to be bad.
yeah.
Just it's going to be bad.
well, the 10-day forecast runs all the way to the 2nd of July. Have we made an official announcement on what we're doing after the 4th of July week?
Did we
talk about it on the air?
Yeah, we've discussed.
We're all going on vacation at the same time is the way we're going to work it. And by the way, I am looking forward to being in the same condo with you guys for an entire week. We're all going on vacation together. Not only are we going on vacation at the same time, we're all going to Destin together.
Yeah. It's going to be a time.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be great. Actually, we're not. My guess would be none of us will even communicate with each other for about eight or 9 days. But the way we're going to work it is we're all going to go on vacation the same week, which is the week after the 4th of July. The 4th of July is on a Friday, and obviously we will not be here that day.
We will not.
And the next week, somehow, some way, we have managed to put together, Edwards managed to put together 5 best of shows.
Well,
I mean, there was enough good stuff there.
They will be put together.
Well, I mean, I understand.
Let's not get
all
ahead
that.
of ourselves.
I understand all that, but I was giving you credit. I mean, I speak because I know that everything's going to be fine. So that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And then we'll all reconvene, I think, on the 14th of July, something like that, the following Monday. And, we'll be guns blazing.
That's right.
Moving towards football season. So,
well, it'll be SEC Media Days week when we come back. So it will officially be talking season.
It will be. And but that's kind of how we planned it. Rather than, Edward go on a vacation one week and Bart and then me and then Bo, let's just all do it at once. And then we'll be back here. I don't know whose idea. Was this your idea, Bart?
The idea to run, yes. I mean, yes.
Yeah, all right. There's Bart's idea, basically. Edward had a cruise going because Edward's had is it an anniversary? What's the deal? What's the occasion? You're just going on a cruise?
Just going on a cruise.
All right, going on a cruise.
Vacation.
And so we decided we couldn't make it without Edward. And this just seemed like the way to go. So that's what we've got planned.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm just gonna
Oh, I am. I'm getting the hell out of here. Hey, if you're looking for the perfect light beer to kick off your summer, Flight by Yingling raises the bar for light beers. It's now even better than it was before. It was pretty good before. Introducing the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle, perfect for any occasion. And with just 95 calories, you can enjoy the crisp, refreshing taste of Flight wherever life takes you. Grab it at your favorite store. Ask your bartender to take your beer game to new heights. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar, take flight. All right. Bo's going to be back around tomorrow, we think. Nobody's heard from Bo, have they? Actually, we did hear from Bo.
We did yesterday.
We did hear from Bo for a few minutes yesterday.
Yeah.
But he'll be back around tomorrow. And he'll have, I'm sure, tales of his time away, and we'll be anxious to hear it. And What a great day it'll be. All right, thanks for being here. We'll be back tomorrow, 6 o'clock in the morning. Till then, thanks for listening to the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, want to fly like a VIP? With Jet Aircraft, you skip the TSA lines, skip baggage claim, and fly